you can't skip to the end of this and find out how I made $100 million because that's not how life works. So it started out, and I was here in this office. It was decorated differently back then, recording janky Vim tutorials on iMovie with my phone that had a completely missing back. And yeah, I was just uploading tutorials. They kind of sucked at first, to be honest, because I didn't really know that much about Vim. But I had one breakout success that was like the norm command that I think a few people knew about, relatively. A lot of people had forgotten about it. And yeah, I was just checking on that all the time, constantly. I was like refreshing that. I was uploading videos, thinking of new video ideas every day, because people like us, we pour energy into everything we do. Everything we touch, we try to be the best at. It's just in our nature. And I was trying to understand Vim. I had a job at the time. I think I just quit a bakery, and I was doing vascular research, which was just, I got by just like being the first one to apply. And I think one of the doctors that was doing this was also a software engineer himself. And he recognized in me like, oh, this is a Vim user. This guy is serious. He's like a little ahead of everyone else in his grade. And so I got the job. And that's going to be a big theme of this. People better than you, smarter than you, recognizing your talent, you as like a rising talented person, because that's how a lot of stuff happens. That's how you climb the ladder in life. People think it's luck, but it's like lucky people creating more luck by like inviting you upstairs, pretty much. So that guy, who was really smart, both of these doctors were really smart, gave me this job. But I realized after a while that it was kind of artificial. We were doing like vector database RAG stuff, which was blowing my mind at the time, and I learned a lot about AI. But it wasn't it yet. It was like, I don't know, I felt like it was not a real project, because I don't know, why would they put two like undergrads on some random vascular research project if it was the most important thing in the world? They would have better people doing it. So I wasn't all that invested, and I was invested enough that I learned all this AI stuff. I watched all the videos about AI, and that helped me get an interview at this company called Direct Supply, because some guy named Alex, another very competent guy, ex-NVIDIA engineer or manager or something, recruited me because he saw my mocking GitHub video. And so then I got at this company in Direct Supply. So I got invited to go to a summer internship program where I met a lot of cool people, but the company still did not blow my mind. I was looking all around, and I saw all these people, and I was like, you're not really doing much. You're pushing data around. Like I couldn't get into it myself. Like I felt like a bad engineer because I couldn't bring myself to do all this vibe coding and ShadCN and all this React and Python stuff, because I thought it was all just a meaningless slop fest of nothingness. I thought like, I can't do this anymore. It's not real. And sorry, any Direct Supply guys, if you see this, but that company it was not for me. Like they do real good. They help like senior people, but it's a company that could be run by, I think, far fewer engineers, and it has this cute, like, I don't want to say cute, I don't want to demean anyone, but it has this, like, upstart kind of Silicon Valley feel, because they put a lot of kids like us who are enthusiastic in charge of everything, which is great. They're optimizing it all. They're hiring smarter and smarter people. The company is doing well. They've passed down to the next generation successfully. But it just wasn't for me yet. I needed something different. I also, at the time, had, like, an archaeology internship through pure nepotism, and that's where I met a couple of popular girls, Kylia and Genevieve, who I wouldn't have talked to ordinarily, but there was no one else to talk to that I like resonated with. So I started talking to them and opening up to them, and I realized they're really actually very nice, funny people, and way more similar to me than you might expect. Like maybe you should just go talk to the field hockey girls, maybe they're actually really cool people. So that was a big wake-up call. But also I was working on this database code, and I was using some of my AI stuff, but I felt like such a fraud because I could not do anything really at that like the website, the browser for the archaeological artifacts that I was supposed to be working on was so dense and so arcane and so old. My programming abilities were useless at it. It was like such old Flask code. I just had no idea what was going on, and it was so complicated. And I didn't realize it, but a kind of valuable lesson in software engineering is like, you can't have everything optimized the way you want it to. And if something works, like why fix it? It's still going strong. So I just kind of poked around at it, maybe made like a couple stylistic changes. I can't really remember, but then I was like, yep, hands off. This thing has been running for years. No need to change it. So yeah, after the summer, I left Direct Supply because I had another offer from, this is a very important part of the story, a guy who I met because of my board game, also because of my channel, and also an instance of lucky people finding other lucky people. Lucky, just successful people recognizing success rising. And this guy was very into board games, and he talked to me. We got talking over the fact that I was developing a board game. He was also very into it. And so I didn't think that much of it at the time, but he offered me a job like 3 weeks later, and a couple other startups offered me jobs at this point. And I didn't really recognize that as anything crazy, other than I was like, oh, I'm putting myself in front of people. I'm showing some dev skills. Maybe that's what they want to see. Maybe other people aren't doing that much. But I didn't fully realize the power and magnitude that this channel actually has. And yeah, so I decided through talking to this guy, I don't want to name drop him just for privacy concerns, but he would be totally fine with it. Yeah, he invited me to come work at his company called StartGG, which is like an esports event management company. And I was unsure at first because Direct Supply, right as I was about to leave, dropped like a huge offer on me for a lot of money. And I think in hindsight, they saw that I was about to leave, or Alex did, because he's a very smart guy. So he wanted to entice me, but it was not enough for me to stay because more money just will not do it for me at this point. I'm starting to realize. And so another caveat to that was I would have to move to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I just love Vermont so much. Vermont's my home, so I can't leave that. And anyway, I was talking to this guy, and I think actually it's fine to name drop him. He won't mind, because he's just such a chill guy like that. And he's a very, very smart senior developer. And something I didn't realize, I realized it slowly over the course of the channel about ego. Like I was trying to kill my ego. I did it once falsely, and I thought I had, but he, along with a couple other people, helped me fully kill my ego. And the way to fully kill it is to realize that you're not alone in the world, and that everyone around you is equally agentic and equally has like goals that they want to get to. Just because I'm working kind of harder than most people I see around me does not mean that those people are like, their purposes in this world are meaningless. And once you see it that way, everything changes. Everyone is like someone you can negotiate with and talk to, and they can do stuff for you. And it's not like you're controlling them. I kind of thought that way, and I'm still trying to get over that. It's like you're working with them. And that's what Sumit taught me, along with like literally so many other things. Like over the course of the past week, just by talking to him and all these other people in my life that I've suddenly realized are humans with a ton of years of valuable insights, I grew up like, I feel like 20 years. And I mean, I'm just 20 now. I grew up 20 years in like the course of a day or two. Like there were a couple days I had splitting headaches from the amount of realizations I was coming to about the world and about like my ego and about just everything, how all of society is structured. And then I talked to my dad for a while. We were smoking some weed together because it's Vermont and that's what we do. Although I now see that that's kind of a pointless thing that drags a lot of people down. So I don't take any drugs anymore. That's another thing I realized. We were talking all about politics and the current political structure. And this is where I kind of got lost in the sauce plot-wise. But at some point, two guys from Silicon Valley came up and they drove just to see me because of my channel, I think. And actually, I know. And we had lunch at a diner with them. They paid with some ridiculous like $100 million credit line. Both of these guys are just financial wizards manipulating everything around them, like super, super smart, sociopathically charming. And we're just making tons of money in political calls and all these kinds of things. One guy wants to run for president in the future, and I'm in close contact with him. And it was so crazy. Meeting all these people just led me to all these realizations about how everything is structured, how the world is structured. And yeah, it's been just an absolutely insane ride forward, and it still is. And I'm not really sure what to make of it all and what to do with it all. I know that, and I've been kind of struggling with the idea of like power. It's only good to be in power if you don't want to be in power, but people are handing it to me and I can control so much in my life now. I could go for money, I could go for girls, I could go for whatever I want. I am, to some extent, achieving all of those things more than I ever expected. But what I want more than all of that is to just like leave a lasting impression in the world of good. And I want to just do as much good as I can for the things I care about, like Vim and workflow and like everything around me. And I want to publish a board game. So I haven't made that $100 million yet, but My birthday is on October 22nd, same day as 21 Savage. So I have about 7 or 8 days to do that. And I'm hoping that this audience that I've distilled down by just having a mirror of myself can help me do that, can help me make the money, because the money is going to be required to do some of the great things that I want to do. And there will be more videos about this, about being agentic versus sitting back and letting the world go and spin around you, because it's all meaningless in the end. But for now, that's the goal. I want to assemble a team of people like you. And I also want to talk about why people like you ended up watching me. It's like a self-selecting process. I have the smartest comment section I've ever seen, and that's why these Silicon Valley guys are interested in all of us. You may have come here because of the hiring process, but if you're still watching me right now, I don't think you're like a career grinding noob. Unless you might still want money, but you'll realize at a certain point, money can only get you so much. What you want is like a higher purpose. Once you get the money, the higher purpose will come. And what we can do together with this channel, with all this brain power distilled, is basically limitless. I don't want to be the one just telling everyone where to go, because I don't think I'm the smartest possible, one of you. I think there are people in this community that have better ideas than I do. I think we have to just organize ourselves and all talk. And I'm getting the channel forum going. That's the biggest priority right now. I have a guy who's very equally, or if not smarter than me, working on it right now, but I want to send more power his way, get more people working on that. Then we can start to talk about how we're going to change the world and make money for all of us, just enough so that we can keep changing the world. But that's the goal. We have to organize ourselves first. And another thing I want to just address is I am not the best one of you. You may look at that and you may look at my trajectory and see I'm getting it all now, but it's just because I got extremely lucky. This channel was started on a whim, and all this stuff I have around me, all these interesting and unique props, are because I was lucky enough to be born with parents who are really interesting and raised me to like art and stuff. And that's all random coincidence. And it's random coincidence that I chose to be more socially aggressive than some of you. You're no less than me in any way. You have strengths and weaknesses, but a lot of you have strengths that are way stronger than mine. You're way better programmers. You're way smarter at something else. I just happen to be good at making interesting YouTube videos. And that's why I ended up being the one that pulled everyone together. That does not mean that I should be in control of any of this. I'm just the organizer of it, which I guess in a sense you could consider the one in control, but I don't think so. I feel like someone else has better calls to make to just make this whole group of guys work out well, and girls maybe. There are probably a few of you in there, just statistically. And that's basically the message of it. We have to work together. And I think we've basically circumvented the hiring process, if you want to, because now at this point, I'm starting to become part of a network of very smart and powerful engineers. Any of you that work with me, we can either get you working on a crazy cool startup, or just put you in we can get around the hiring process for you. If money is what you want, I can get people to sort that out and turn this into a career funnel channel. But I don't think that's what you want deep down. The money will be nice for a little while, but what you want is a grander purpose. So yeah, what we have to figure out is, how do we make money for this little community so that we can keep doing what we do? And then what do we do? What do we improve? Do we want a new Linux distribution? Do we want super tight prompt specific AI integration in NeoVim that makes vibe coding actually good? Do we want some crazy new development in the LSP ecosystem? Do we want to do all those things simultaneously in small groups? How do we want to organize it? What do we want to do with the world? Because the world is our oyster now, and you don't realize it yet how much agency you have maybe, but you will in the next few weeks. I think because of this video, and you'll start seeing more and more things like it, the world is opening up again, and you, as the autistic weird people with chips on your shoulders, are actually the most powerful and the most in control of everything, of anyone. And you have to use that power and that knowledge for good, because it's easy to be selfish and use it for evil. Don't look inward and hate yourself. Look outward and try to connect with other people like you, because they're a lot more like you than you think, and you can do a whole lot of good once you start connecting with other people. Society is built on connection. It's not built on looking inward. And one quick example before I go is, I used to be such an advocate for Tor and Monero and all that stuff. But if you look at it at the highest level, what is it other than hiding from everyone else because you don't trust them deeply enough? It's because you think the majority of other people are bad. It's because you're not fully integrated into society. You don't understand yet you're part of a bigger whole. You're still that's a good indication for yourself. If you still fundamentally believe in Monero or something like that, you kind of still have that ego that, no, I should be in control of privacy. That stuff only works if the majority are bad. And ultimately, if you look at it, maybe sometimes the majority are bad. Maybe that's the case right now, according to you. Maybe the rest of humanity is evil, and then Tor and that stuff is necessary. But deeply enough, aren't you the bad one then? You're looking at the other people around you as enemies, not as friends. And if we all look at everyone as friends, why do we need this privacy technology? Google is actually good. They're actually doing good for the world. They actually help so many people at so many things. It's so easy to like treat all this stuff, all those big corporations as like enemies of open source, but it's all just people working together to make the world better in different ways. You might not fully agree or see that yet, and there's like little nuances in all of this, and this could honestly be extra videos, but yeah, that's about it.